Welcome back. This is section 6.4.1, which is credit cards. Very, very, very important. Before we dive deeper into the problems, there's certain things that I would like you all to know. One is the credit limit. Let's just say I should have a credit card right here. So it's very, very, very important. So the first thing I would like you all to look into is credit limit. Always check if your credit card has over the limit fee. Like if you swipe your card, let's just say this card has $2,000 and I swipe for 2001 or 2002, always make sure you don't have an over limit fee. Okay, because that sometimes does affect your credit score. So the next thing is that's a good segue to credit score. What is a credit score? It's a three-digit number that tells you how good of a standing you are using a credit card. Usually it ranges from 300 to 850. So having a higher score is telling the credit companies or the financial companies that you can balance or you have a good control on how you spend your money. If you have a low credit score, that tells them that you are in a lot of debt and you will not be able to pay them back. So giving you a larger amount of credit might not be possible. The next one is the balance. The credit balance is the amount that you owe at any given time, including your purchases, your interest charges, other fees. So balance is what is the amount that you owe towards a credit card. Let's just say this is $2,000 card and I only spent $1,000. So I owe them $1,000 plus the interest of how long I did not pay them the amount. And minimum payment due, just because you spend 1,000, you're not paying them $1,000. You're just going to pay the minimum amount, which we will be calculating in the next few minutes. APR, a very, very, very important. APR is annual percentage rate. The lower the interest rate, it's a good card. Sometimes I highly recommend, after going over this section, I want you to take a look at your credit card and see what is your annual percentage rate. Usually they give you 1 or 2% for the first 3 years, and then it just hikes up to 12% or 13%. Even without you realizing, you end up paying so much for the credit cards. And grace period, very, very, very important. Let's say you forgot to pay your credit card bill for that month. It could be various reasons. And if you forgot and they count that against your credit score, that's not good. So always check what is the grace period. And if you don't pay during that time, then it goes or counts against you. But if you pay during that time, it's all good. All right. And the next one I would like to talk about is rewards. Who doesn't like rewards? Many credit cards have rewards. Always check with your cards. If you use that card, either you get 5% back, 2% back, or you can even have travel rewards. If you use a lot of points, then you can buy an airline ticket. Always making sure you know what your rewards and perks are is very important. Sometimes they even use towards your renting a car. Let's just say you're renting a car using this card, the insurance is covered, which is a good thing until unless something happens. The next is a credit card fee. There are various fees that the creditors charge. For instance, some credit cards charge you an annual fee. Always look for the credit cards that don't have a lot of fees, because we apply for a card when we're in desperate situations and we kind of tend to overlook all those. But if you pay attention to all of those add up and end up putting you in a lot of debt. So be careful of these. I will attach all of these under the video below so y'all can take a look. Balance transfer, something that is very important. Some credit cards do not charge balance transfer, some do. So what I do is, if I have two credit cards and one credit card has a lot of balance and the other credit card is I just got approved for, let's say, $5,000, and I don't have to pay any interest for 3 years, and I can do a balance transfer. And why pay interest on the first card, right? I transfer all the amount to the second card, so I'm not paying a lot of interest, and at the same time I'm saving money. So always be wise. Don't work hard, work smart. Now that we know all the key terms, let's go ahead and take a look at the problems. All right, all right. Da, 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 'da. 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 ' So here we are. So the first thing we will be doing today is calculating the average daily balance. You will be surprised how they calculate that, promise. Okay, so the formula to calculate the daily balance is closing balance times the days of balance divided by total number of days in a billing cycle. What I have done is beside every problem, I put up a calendar so you can see how many days are in that particular month. So let's go ahead and take a look. Using the table, what is the average? Let me get my pen here. Using the table, what is the average daily balance of the credit card from December 1st to December 31st? So you have 31 days of billing period. Round your answer to the nearest cent. So what happens is on day one, so there's no activity, no adjustment, and the closing balance is $11,000. So the next what you do is you pay. You spent $11,000, but you had $3,000, so you're paying that amount. So every time that you pay, I'll highlight that in green. So you're paying $3,000. So when you pay $3,000 towards $11,000, now your balance is only $8,000. On December 21st, you got a bonus. You make a payment again of $2,500. Again, so when you make a payment, automatically that gets deducted. So now you have $5,500. And again, December 31st, you make a purchase. Of course, it's New Year. You make a purchase of $2,000. I'm going to put that in red. Oh, come on. So when you make a purchase, automatically that's a plus sign, adds up to your balance, right? So now what you need to do is you need to write the number of days of balance. What do I mean? So on December 1st, I don't know what date it is, I'm just using a random number. So on December 1st, your balance is $11,000. On December 11th, you made a payment. So how many days was this balance for? On December 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. 10 days. You had this balance for 10 days. See that? On December 11th, you made a payment for $3,000. And then you have a balance of $8,000. How many days was this balance for? Until you made the next payment, which is 21st. So it's 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there was a balance of $8,000 for 10 days because on 21st, the balance changed to 5,500. So what happened on 31st? On 31st, you made a payment, you purchased 2,000. So how many days did you have this 5,500 balance for? You made a payment on 21st. So on 21st, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? And after December 31st, your new billing cycle starts. So this 7,500 was only for one day until your next billing cycle starts because from here your next January 1st starts, so it's a fresh new cycle. Okay, now how do you know you're on the right track? You need to add, let me use a different color. When you add all of these numbers, they should end up with number of days in that particular month. So if I add 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 1, 31. So I know I'm on the right track. Okay, that's a quick hint. Once I do that, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to look at the formula. So you will not have this table. You will not have, give me 1 second, let me move further. You will not have this table in your homework, but you need to go ahead and make that on your note card or your notebook so you know you are calculating those days of balance as well. And once I have this, I know what's the formula. The formula is closing balance times days of balance. So I'm simply multiplying, where is my pen? I'm simply multiplying closing balance times the days of balance. So what I'm doing is 11,000 times 10 plus 8,000 times 10, 8,000 times 10 plus 5,500 times 10, 5,500 times 10 plus 7,500 times 1. 7,500 times 1. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in my handy dandy class calc. Where is it? Let me see. Let me look for it first. There you go. So you're in the scientific calculator, right? I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. Let me minimize this one. Now you can see it's 11,123 times 10 plus 8,123 times 10 plus 5,500 times 10 plus 7,500 times 1. And that gives me 252,500. So that's my first step. You multiply your closing balance times the number of days. Now let's look at the second step. The second step is to divide everything by the total number of days. So once I have this, I'm going to go ahead and change the color. So your average daily balance is 2,500, no, it's 25,000. I can't even say the numbers. 252,500 divided by total number of days in the billing cycle are 31 because December has 31 days. So I'm going to, in order to do that, I'm going to clear this one and I'm going to go ahead and type this again. 252,510, yeah, 00 divided by 31. So my average daily balance here is $8,145.16, rounding off to the nearest cent, which is 2 decimal places. Fair enough? Let's do one more. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next problem here. Using the table, what is the average daily balance of the credit card from February 1st to February 28th billing periods? There are only 28 days in February. Round your answer to the nearest cent, which is 2 decimal places. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. On February 1st, there's a closing balance of $5,000. And on February 9th, you made a payment. Every time you make a payment, you deduct from your balance. So on 9th, you made a payment. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that with, let's say, blue. So on 9th, you made a payment, and on 11th, you made a purchase, and on 24th, you made a purchase. There are only 28 days in February. So let's go ahead and count the days of balance. In your homework, you will not have this extra column. Please make sure you add that. That way, it's very easy for you to calculate. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this one. So on day 1, it's $5,000 balance. So how many days did you have 5,000 until you made a payment? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not 9 because on 9th you made a payment. So there are 8 days. The easiest way to do is simply subtract 1 from 9. Now, how many days did you have a balance of 4,500 until 11th? So 9 minus 11, we see 1, 2, which is 2. And how many days did you have 4,750 balance until you made another purchase on 24th? So 11 minus 24, which is, let's go ahead and see here. So on 11, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. See that? Or you simply subtract 11 from 24, which gives you 13 days. And now, how many days did you have a balance of 4,850? So starting from 24th, February only has 28 days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you add all of these, remember what I told you, once you add all of these, you should end up with number of days in that particular month. So if I add 8 plus 2, that is 10. 10 plus 13 is 23. 23 plus 5 is 28. So you do have 28 days in February, and when you add all of these, you do get 28. So these numbers are correct. Once you know that, you will go ahead and use your formula. What is the formula for average daily balance? You will simply multiply your closing balance times the days of balance, closing balance times days of balance, closing balance times days of balance, add everything. Let's go ahead and do that. So closing balance is starting from the first column. It is 5,000 times 8, right? Plus 4,500 times 2. 4,500 times 2. The next is 4,700 times 13 plus 4,750 times 13 plus 4,850 times 5. 4,850 times 5. So I'm going to go to my class calc, delete what I had previously, and go ahead and multiply. So 1, 2, 3 times 8 plus 4,500 times 2 plus 4,750 times 13 plus 4,850 times 5. And that gives me 135,000. Right? So that's my closing balance times the days of balance. But what is my final step? I have to divide by total number of days in the billing cycle. So my step 2 is to divide 13,500. How many days are in February? 28. So enter, double click. Okay. Once I double click, I have the same number divided by 28. So my daily balance is, so my average daily balance is 4,008. I'll use a different color. Is $4,821, and I'm rounding off 2 cents, so 43 cents. And that is your average daily balance, and that's how you calculate your average daily balance. Always have this formula ready. I highly suggest just writing down the number of days, because that's where usually students go wrong trying to calculate the number of days. So just do it the way I did and you will not go wrong. And once you do that, count all the days of balance. They should add up to number of days in that particular month. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. So once you find out your average daily balance, the next objective is to determine the interest to be paid on cards the next billing day. So it's just not the amount, the balance amount, also the interest is calculated, right? So how do you calculate the interest? The interest is monthly interest rate times average daily balance. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, so interest is monthly interest rate times average daily balance. So total balance is unpaid end of the month balance plus the interest rate. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look here. Let's start with the first problem. Please, please, please have these formulas available to you, because that's the best way to do it. Let me expand this one. There you go. All right, so what do we have here? The average daily balance for your credit card for the month of February was, so the average daily balance is being calculated for me. That is very nice of them. And the unpaid balance at the end of the month is 2,665. If the monthly interest rate is 2% of the average daily balance, what is the total balance on March 1st, the next billing date? Round your answer to the nearest cent. So what they did in this problem is they gave me the average daily balance and the unpaid balance at the end of the month. So now let's go ahead and write down what my average daily balance is. Average daily balance here is 2,000. Let me get a pen. Oh, come on. It's $2,350. The interest rate is 2%, so 0.02. The unpaid end of the month balance is $2,665. How do I calculate the interest? Monthly interest rate times average daily balance. So the interest is monthly interest rate, in this case is 2% times average daily balance. So if I do that, I will have 0.02 times average daily balance 2350. And what is that? I'm going to clear everything. 0.02 times 2350. So my interest is $47 for that month. So this is $47. What's my total balance? So if they only ask you for interest, you will use your formula and give them the interest. But if they ask you for the total balance is unpaid end of the month balance plus the interest. So the unpaid end of the month balance is 2,665 plus your interest is $47. You will simply go ahead, I'm going to delete everything, 2,665 plus 47. So my total balance is 2,712. That's it. It's 2,712. So my total balance is 2,712. I highly recommend having these formulas on the note card when you're taking the test and when you're doing these problems. That way you're not overwhelmed with too many formulas to remember. All right, let's look at the next one. Oops. The average daily balance of a credit card for the month of December was, again, as soon as I see something, I'm going to go ahead and highlight, and the unpaid balance at end of the month was $960. So average daily balance is different, the unpaid end of the month balance is different. If the monthly interest rate is 1.5% of the average daily balance, what is the total balance on the next billing date? So first thing again, you will go ahead and write down the information you have. Average daily balance is 870. Interest rate is 0.015. Unpaid end of the month balance is $960. Remember, the 870 is how they calculate. That's what we did in the first two problems. And this is your end of the month unpaid balance. So they use the average daily balance to calculate the interest, and your end of the month balance plus your interest is what the total amount you are due to the credit card. So the interest is, I'm going to go back here. Remember how you calculate the interest? It is it's 0.015 interest times the average daily balance, which is 870. 0.015 times 870. So my interest is $13. I'm paying interest of $13.05. So your total balance will be the end unpaid balance at end of the month, which is 960 from the formula, plus the interest, which is $13.05. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to delete everything. 960 plus $13.05, which is 973.05. round off to two decimal places because they're asking you round off to the nearest cent. Okay? And always, always have your formulas ready when you're working on your problems. And I would highly recommend you all to write these down like I did, the average daily balance, your interest rate, your unpaid end of the month. So when you see a formula, you know exactly what you're plugging into the formula. All right? Hope this helps. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please contact me through email or contact me through Teams. All right.